Our pop culture landscape for video games has evolved drastically over time. What once was just a hobby you invest your free time into after work or school is now a hobby that can pay your bills and make a living. The way companies market their games are changing, the blood, sweat and tears people put into the video games is surprising, and the way consumers indulge in video game media is evolving. These changes are necessary advancements for the video game industry's future, and one industry that was born from these video game changes was eSports. Though eSports is one factor of the future of gaming, in this video I want to explore the many aspects that is driving this industry forward into the future. Let's get into it.
Every day goes, every time we've no control, if the sky is picking.
Esports is the given name to professional competitive gaming. Competitors play against each other in a knockout tournament setting in order to come out on top, and is often awarded with thousands or $1 million prize awards. So what is so important about the whole aspect of esports? Esports is the main driving force when it comes to the future of gaming. Newzoo, the leading global provider of games and esports analytics, put up the combined revenue streams of esports, and its total amounted to $1.1 billion this year as of 2019. This is primarily achieved by the non-exclusiveness that esports has over traditional sports. There is no pay-per-view system in esports, and it's easily accessible through the internet, mostly via Twitch. Out of the 5 revenue streams, media rights is the fastest growing revenue stream with a 41.8% increase from last year. Esports organisers need to make the most out of their events, and the best way to get the most bang for their buck is exclusivity. Organisations pay for media rights in order to prevent other people from broadcasting their services, as esports is growing every year. One example of this is the Overwatch League. Twitch themselves recognized the league's potential and paid $45 million per year for the exclusive broadcasting rights to their platform. As esports was starting to rise at the time, it was a worthy investment for the future, and it was successful with accumulating 85 million hours watched and a 377,000 peak on concurrent viewers. It's primarily thanks to a dedicated audience that is bringing so much light to esports. For esports to gain such a large audience is due to the fact that it's so easily accessible. You can tune into a main esports event by just having access to the internet. No pay-per-view or subscription required. Over the years, the audience for this medium increases by 10% every year. Whether you're a casual or an enthusiast, anyone can enjoy esports. It's so much easier to relate than other sports. There is more of an audience in esports compared to the USA Professional Sports League, and it is predicted that in the short-term future, esports will be the most watched sport of them all. As there are supporting evidence that esports is a worthy investment for the short-term future, as of now, there is that argument that esports is not a sport.
Have you guys seen eSports and the E-League?
I don't know if that's sports, but it's great mind savvy.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word that I would go for.
If you don't break a sweat, I don't consider it a sport.
No, you do.
Watching people play video games isn't like watching people play football.
According to the Council of Europe's European Sports Charter, sport is all forms of physical activity which through casual or organised participation aim at expressing or improving physical fitness and mental well-being, forming social relationships or obtaining results in competition at all levels. The main 2 factors that highlight a sport is that it should include physical activity and recreational purposes. It would be easy to include at this point that esports cannot be a sport, as it does not include any particular physical activity. However, some governing bodies officially accept other activities as sport, in which physical activity doesn't play a major role either. The German Olympic Sport Confederation represents chess as a competitive sport. So why is this so important for the Olympics to take esports into consideration? If the Olympics included esports as one of their sports, it will be beneficial for both sides and opens new opportunities for brands and businesses. As there is no news on esports being in the upcoming 2020 Tokyo Olympics, it may be in the 2024 Paris Olympics. For the medium-term future of esports, backers believe by adding esports to the Olympic temperature, it can bring the industry new recognition, particularly to the older decision makers running big-name potential sponsors, increasing the worth of the esports industry. Though esports being included into the official Olympics is looking grim and potentially it will never happen, as International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach states,
killer games or where you have the promotion of violence or any kind of discrimination as a content of these kind of games, they can never be recognized as a part of the Olympic
As esports are often violent in nature, there are already thousands of evidence out there that states video games don't promote or enforce violent tendencies. It's a huge loss financially for the Olympics, as it's another demographic and viewer base they can add to their repertoire, as coming back to the audience graph, that's potentially 297 million people they can attract to their events. Though esports is a key element when it comes to the future of gaming, another aspect I want to explore is the change in marketing for video games. By looking at trends in consumer behavior, the marketing strategies for video games may be very different in the distant future. There's one marketing strategy that companies are now abiding to, and that is ambassador marketing or word-of-mouth marketing. From a recent survey by Podium on this matter, the results show that 93% of consumers want to hear other people's experiences before making a purchase decision, and most likely you feel the same way too. And where is one place that has video games and online personalities? And that place is Twitch. Twitch is a live stream platform owned by Amazon. Twitch has more than 100 million unique viewers and 50 million active daily users and 2.2 million broadcasters. With a platform that is dedicated to people watching other people, there will be influencers, which are called Twitch partners. Tufue, the biggest Twitch partner, has 30 to 50,000 viewers at a time. Twitch realized that gaming companies are reaching to these influencers for potential sponsorships. And what Twitch has done to cater to these companies from a business-to-business standpoint, they offered a system called Bounty Board, which allows Twitch partners on the platform to take up paid sponsorship from other companies. And an example of a company paying for a short sponsorship to a Twitch partner is EA. EA offered top streamer Ninja and Shroud a $1 million contract to play the newly released game Apex Legends. It was a huge success for Apex Legends as it released out of nowhere. It had no prior advertisements, and its only way of people knowing about it is word of mouth. And as Ninja and Shroud are the top streamers at the time, Apex Legends appeared on the top watched games on Twitch's homepage. EA set a foundation for a whole new marketing strategy. Apex Legends, instead of going the traditional route and teasing the game months in advance before the release date, utilizing the power of Twitch and YouTube gaming, EA strategically placed the game in the hands of influencers, and it reached 10 million downloads within 72 hours. Apex Legends didn't need the traditional fancy video, multi-million-dollar media buy or months of lead time to reach their core consumer. Rather, they strategically leveraged a keen understanding of emerging audiences' behaviors and network theory to ignite organic growth for a good product. As we are now living in an age where people are intaking entertainment through the internet, it is convenient for games, as the internet is the main driving force of it. There will always be video games in the future, but the subtopics such as marketing and esports are the subgenres that can shape the future of gaming.